Warning. What you are about to see and hear is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed on the show are our opinions and do not reflect the views of BTW21 or its staff. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel and Chad.
God is looking for someone real. People are looking for something real. Just be real. You are a part right now of the Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Lewis, Brother Chad Hudson.
Hello.
We're here to talk to you today. We got us a special guest with us, Mr. Chad Hall.
Love this guy.
Love
What's
this
up,
guy.
fellas?
Yeah, owner-operator of BTW21, preacher, gun enthusiast.
Yep.
Car enthusiast, truck enthusiast,
Yep.
motor enthusiast.
Yep. Check.
I guess you need a
Check 'em
motor.
all.
Check them all.
You need a motor in a vehicle, right?
Yep. I believe in all of them you just said.
Yeah, we got some vehicles out there that don't have motors, and they're also okay.
Yeah.
But you throw an engine in
Projects.
there. Projects.
Everybody
There
needs
you go.
some.
Project enthusiast.
Everybody needs a project.
Yeah. You got some projects going on?
I do actually. I actually thought of this guy yesterday when I took my
Who,
C10
me?
for a ride.
Oh my God,
And,
I need that.
I thought about you.
I need that truck. He thought about me
It
because
is.
he saw the wet spots on the seat from the last time.
Yeah, we just put a brand new 500 cubic inch in a 1968 C10.
Man.
Special build by Sidley down here, and it's running pretty good. Got to get the bugs worked out of it, but
So is that what you call a square body?
absolutely, yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got to get up on all that. I'm a muscle car fan, but, the truck's kind of a little bit of elusive to me.
Oh, yeah.
So once I love them. I love them. Don't get me wrong. Dad had a 52 step side, had a 69 Ford Ranger, which I absolutely loved. It actually had air conditioner in
But
it.
boy.
what did he have? What did he really have though?
What's that?
last one?
The 69?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a 390 in it.
69.
Yeah. 69 Ford Ranger is two-tone. It was
No. I'm
cream.
talking about
The
last.
67 Chevelle.
A what now?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Chevelle.
67
Yeah.
Chevelle Super Sport. Original Super Sport. The numbers.
He decided to go fast.
Yeah,
Right.
the numbers all matched up. I didn't get to drive that as much. He
Smart
adored,
man.
Yeah, my dad was very smart. He adored that car. I remember when he purchased it, I was extremely small. I think it was 84, 85, somewhere around there, and it was had a tree growing up in it.
Come on, you been small once?
Yeah, it was.
Come on, man. I don't know. I don't believe him.
He was born 4 foot tall.
Right,
I mean,
I don't know if I believe him, Chad.
well, people don't see this because my mother doesn't. She watches the show. Daniel's a tall boy,
He is. He's a skyscraper.
And
for
while
me.
while we're sitting here, while we're sitting here, people don't realize how tall he actually is. But
Well, he's been playing footsies with me since he sat down.
that's right. I love it. Now, my mother had Monte Carlos my whole
Yes.
My whole life. She had 72 Monte. I think she had a 70 Monte Carlo and a brown one. And then my grandfather, he was backing up the truck to go pick up trash, and he rode down the whole side of that car.
Nice.
He said he didn't hear it, didn't see it, nothing.
But at the time, I'd say it's just a car.
It was. See, that's what I was going
If
to
he
bring
did it
up.
today, it'd be
Your dad's car. I'm sure you grew up in
yeah,
vehicles.
yeah.
My uncle was like, man, if I had $100 for every car that I just destroyed back in the day,
yeah.
you know.
right. Got for $300.
I can remember my dad having a Nova with 2 4s on it from the factory.
Man.
Flipped it
wow.
and totaled it when I was a kid. You had that car now. I mean, it's no telling what it would be
Right.
worth.
That's
I
right.
mean, $100,000 easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
I know. I have a story of my uncle Bob Pratt. There, he drew. I think it was a I can't remember. It was a Mopar, but he sat there and he went in the sand dunes and just ran that thing into the ground and blew up the motor. And he told me story. We saw one on. It was identical to what he had. It was like $64,000 now. He said he bought it for $600.
Right.
You know, but like I was talking about, my mom had Monte Carlos our whole life. I was raised in the back seat of a Monte Carlo.
Yes.
She had that 70 Monte Carlo and then a 73, I think it was. And I didn't know her to drive anything else.
Yeah.
I went off to California and she got a different car, but my whole life's been in a Monte Carlo. And now I own a 72, I own 86. I mean, it's just...
You got several Monte Carlos.
I got several Monte Carlos.
But you do have that elusive 72.
Yeah.
I mean, you
That
finally
I
acquired
do.
that, what, a couple years ago?
Yeah, I do want to line up with your son, with his Camaro there. and
Get him.
See what we could do.
Get him, see what happens.
You know, and
You just better watch him. He might slip in there and grab one of them trucks and
I know.
switch them up on
See,
you.
that's what I'm worried about, because I looked at his Camaro there and I was like, I think I got that, but then I don't know, with his dad's motor shop over there in his garage. I don't know if
His
I can
hobbies.
take him or not. His hobbies.
Right.
But
know,
so do you do that with your son? Do you
Well,
have
no,
you
he
worked
just
on
likes to
cars?
drive. He don't like to do a lot of work. He likes to drive.
Yeah.
Oh, but I get that too, because I race cars and I do like to drive.
He works on them when he breaks them.
Okay, at least that happens. At least that happens. But
So
have
you
you
can drive
guys?
them again.
But have you guys worked in the garage on a project or two? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. I love that.
Well, see, you got to realize he was in motorsports, and we were starting some projects, and then he hauled off to Tennessee for about 2.5 years. So he left me at home with the projects, and it's been real slow for me getting them together. So I'm just really now getting some projects done.
Right.
The little blue truck, it was about a 1.5-year project. And now I'm a good year in the C10. Because don't get me wrong, the C10 ain't pretty.
Yeah.
But she's,
like it.
Yeah,
she's
she
fast.
is.
I liked it.
I've
I
seen
like
her.
her.
She's
Yeah,
fast.
She's fast.
She's
Fast
fast.
and pretty. I mean, a lot of people like those.
I've been calling the old truck old Betsy because it's my dad's truck.
Yeah.
He bought it when I was 8 years old.
Get out of here.
And
Really?
I've been thinking about renaming it to Frankenstein because it's been dead a few times and we keep bringing it back to life.
That's something to bring back to life. Man,
is.
if I could, have one of my mom's old Monte Carlos, I'd give anything for it. So to have a vehicle that your dad had while you was 8 years old, man, that's a treasure.
is.
Yeah,
That's a
I'll never
treasure.
get rid of this one. It'll be here.
Right,
And
it's forever.
somebody else will have to get rid of this
Yes,
one.
sir.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that one.
But she's, like I said, she's ugly, but,
I think my mom's Monte Carlos were put in demolition derbies
I wouldn't doubt it.
up in Connecticut. That's where she is. They rust out.
They love them. They love them in the derbies.
But they
They
do.
do.
Right. But they rust out. The salt that they put on the road because all the snow and everything, and I believe my Uncle Jack, he took them up to the demolition derby and did his thing there. But man, I just always was fascinated with little project cars, working in the garage. We have cars nowadays. I lift up the hood and I don't know what the heck's under there.
Right.
I mean, I know there's a motor. I know there's
Somewhere.
pistons going in there somewhere.
Under the plastic.
But back in those 60s and 70s, boy, you couldn't do no better than that.
When you find somebody that's sitting in a desk and logs into your car to speed it up and tune it, it's way above my pay scale.
How's she running now? Oh, good, I guess. Thanks, Francisca.
But
I appreciate that.
you said 72 Monte Carlo. My dad had a 72 Monte Carlo.
Really?
Yeah, and I never will forget. We rebuilt the motor in it, put it all together, and we sanded it in the garage I'm in today and painted that thing. That was my first
wow.
paint job.
Really?
Well, he done the painting. I was just a boy.
Yeah.
But, I got to put my fingers in the paint and stuff like that. But, I got run off a couple times back then. But, that car hung around for years,
Right.
years and years.
Wow. Yeah.
And that old motor finally gave out, and it sit beside the barn for about 5 years. And finally somebody come by, wanted it pretty bad, and Dad rolled it on out. But
It
was
happens.
72, sure was.
Yeah, my dad, like I was telling you about that 67 Chevelle, I remember when he got it, he just recently sold it 4 or 5 years ago. Didn't want to come off that thing. But some of the fun, what I got out of it when I was younger is finding the parts for it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just fun. Like, you know, Scott's Antique Cars when it was out there on
Old
57.
Delmo.
Yeah, we'd go out there, and I mean, different swap meets, stuff like that. That was before online. You know,
Looking
you
for a
couldn't-
little
it wasn't no eBay.
emblem or a grill or
Yeah,
something.
the freaking thing on the glove box, the whole front of the glove box was like a chrome piece, and so he wanted to redo that because some of it was deteriorated and he couldn't get it redone and bent, and I mean it just the little there was a chrome like on your armrest. The top part was the vinyl, and then it had that chrome piece around. So I remember going and he'd find me a set of those, and then of course rubber bumper guards. All of them you see with bumper. You know, some of these '67 Chevelles I see, they got bumper guards. Some of them just on the front, some of them just on the back, some of them all the way around, just like a Nova. They got those chrome bumper guards. Well, Dad had the chrome bumper guards that had the rubber strip in the front, and so those are hard to find too. That'll fix a '67.
Well, Delmo Scott is the reason I ain't a
Fit 'em,
millionaire.
fit.
Amen.
When I was 15, 16, 17, 18, till about till he sold out to Terry, because you know Terry Newman owns that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Terry Newman.
Okay.
He bought Delmo out when he retired.
Yeah.
Of course, Terry's right here in town. Terry's Hot Rods. He's got the same setup. He's still doing it. Terry
Really?
is. Yep. He just bought all of Delmo's inventory and some of the cars. So
Wow.
yeah, Terry's got a great thing going. He kept Delmo alive. So
Yeah.
it's actually on the sign, Delmo Scott / Terry Newman. So
Okay.
yeah, Delmo's
Cool,
still
man.
working. He's taking it easy at home working. So
That was years back.
he could get the parts back in the day.
Right. Dad was a milkman. I remember them calling him up. Scott called him up and was like, you know, we got a original 1967 owner's manual over here if you're interested. Dad said, I'm going this afternoon. So as soon as we got back, pulled the milk, pulled the empties, and we shot down through there. And so he got that original 67 owner's manual, still in the plastic, and put it in the glove box. I don't know what he paid for it at the time, but I was just like, I seen the excitement of it, you know, because he didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, it was a real 67 Super Sport, too.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't one of these Malibus that made into a Super Sport.
I
So it
just
was
love
pretty cool.
love the fact that you know you're sitting there talking about a truck that your father had. You're talking about a vehicle that your father had, and I'm talking about a vehicle that my mother had, and it's bringing up memories. It's
Oh,
bringing
yeah,
up
yes.
these
It
things,
is.
you know?
Right, right.
And,
So we haven't killed all our brain cells, is what you're trying to say.
not yet.
Right.
Now, my mother's Monte Carlo, I told you she had a 70 Monte Carlo that was brown. And when my grandfather Gaffney kind of ripped off the side of it, is he telling us something? Wait,
Yeah,
what
I
do you,
can't see it. What does it
what
say?
does that say?
I'm sorry.
Christian, bring it out here.
eyes
Come on out here.
Just hand it to Chad.
What? Yes, we do. We will get that on. Hold on, give me
Oh,
1
no.
second, and we'll play it.
Oh, no.
So,
Is this show censored by the police?
my other grandfather, he worked for Warren Trucking down here, and he came up to the house one day in his flat nose. They ran those flat noses back then.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just,
Cab over.
cab overs. And he comes up to Connecticut. He had a trip from here to New York and back and forth a couple times a week. So he stops in Connecticut, and big old Warren truck, 18-wheeler shows up, and he goes, open up that back. So we open up the back of that trailer there, and here's this raked out Monte Carlo. It's got wide tires on the back.
Man.
It's got a big built 350. He fires it up, and my stepfather disassembled it all. He brought it into the garage, and he took off the big carburetor. He took off the big tires. He just made it more suitable for her to drive.
Efficient, yeah.
Right, but that thing, when she would come and pick me up at school, would still be thump, 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 thump. I mean, just a rocket, a ground pounding.
He didn't pull out the guts.
He didn't
then.
pull out the guts. He kept them in there. But yeah, what I appreciate is we're sitting here talking about our parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All of us are
love
sitting right now talking about our parents in a vehicle, and I hope to pass that on with my kids.
Right.
My older kids, we went racing. My younger kids were starting to tinker with racing again, and I need to pass that on. You need to pass it on to Christian and to your others, and he's going to pass that on to his son and others.
Wait a minute, I hope I ain't got many others. Wait a minute now.
I'm used to saying others, brother.
I ain't got 8 kids.
Look, I'm used to saying others, okay? So I apologize, but I'm just saying. So Christian come out here, and he says he's got some videos.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got
let's
some
see.
videos.
This probably ain't good for me.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
Hey, yeah.
There she is.
Beautiful.
Right. Oh,
I love it.
he's cranked.
Already got the antique.
I think.
Oh, it's cranked
Oh,
up.
yeah, it is. Look at
We can't hear it, but they can.
that bitch is rocking. That thing is rocking. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
Cool. Thanks, man.
That's a good picture right there because that's what most people see when they behind it. Yeah. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Always behind it.
Tail lights.
Now you still have your S10?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a little demonstration of that.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, "I'll give it to you." That's what.
Cut it off right there.
Well, you know what? I had somebody offered me $25,000.
Really?
Yeah. And honestly, I make money on that. I really did. And I started talking about selling it. And that was Christian's first truck.
Was it?
And he went into deep depression and acting all up, so I just had to keep it.
That goes along with what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some reason that he just is attached to that. He's going to be attached to that with you.
Yes.
But he went to his mom and said, "Mom, Dad's going to sell my truck."
Right.
And then
It happened.
and it's not sold. It's sitting at the house because Mom said no.
Went to the boss. Went to the boss.
He went right over my head to the main
To
authority.
the main
Yeah.
authority. That's what you got to do. They learn that at a very early age.
That's right. That is right.
But I got one on him. All I'm going to do is tell her what I got in it. And then she'll probably say, "Roll it on
You
out
damn
here."
right.
Or I'll begin divorce court, one or the other. You spent how much money on what?
Right.
What's aluminum heads?
That's what I say over there at the Harley shop.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I seen that meme the other day. It was just guy was in there he done the laundry, done wash dishes. Wife come home. She's like, "Wow, what Harley parts did you buy?"
That's about the truth.
That is the truth.
Shoot, I come home with a new Harley shirt. She says,
They give you that shirt, don't they?
I've heard that. Them shirts free today, ain't they? Yeah, they're free with $100.
So we appreciate you coming out. We got a whole, looks like an arsenal right here.
I
on
don't
the
know what
table.
we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
We
could
didn't
just
have a
keep
clue,
talking
but here we
vehicles.
are.
Yeah, we could just keep talking vehicles, but it looks like we got a little bit of an arsenal going on here. Just
Some of these here are yours, my friend. These are nice.
Yeah, those two are mine. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Go
I'm a
ahead.
gun enthusiast.
Get you
That's
a
some
feel.
years
This is
of
pretty nice, man.
yeah. That is the elusive AR-15.
That's the one they talk about.
That's the one they talk about. Yeah, yeah. Got the brace on the end of it. That's actually a pistol. It's only got a 14.5 barrel on it, 14.5-inch barrel. So it's a pistol with a pistol brace on the end of it. Yep.
Got the SIG light on it.
You got the little SIG light on there, yeah, and some backup irons on it. I thoroughly enjoy shooting. I love to shoot. I'm not a hunter, but I love to shoot, and I have friends that love to shoot, and so it's become a collection over the years.
Yeah.
And also home protection. I think that's probably home defense is the main priority of what I am. It makes me feel comfortable that that's there if I need it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not my main home defense gun. But it's backup. It's there if you need it. And you got some boxes over here too.
We got this is actually a small concealed carry. Actually, this is my son's.
right. And all these are empty. We have
Yep,
no ammo
all empty, no
whatsoever.
ammo.
No ammo anywhere.
Most of
Well,
what
except the one that's on me.
well, you know what? A gun unloaded is worthless.
Right.
It really
is
is.
worthless.
No.
So they're empty for right now. What is this? This is Glock 43, right?
Now, this is actually my fresh carry.
Oh, this is a 43X.
I just bought that new Hellcat. I love
Oh,
the
yeah.
That's a good gun to carry. It's light.
I've been wanting to get one of them in my hand.
I like it because it's double stacked, 13 in one.
Yes, sir.
Pretty nice. And I've always wanted a gun with the light to carry, but everything's so big. You know, I'm looking for something a little bit smaller.
Right.
So anyway, that's kind of what I went with my concealed carry. And you can see, I've never had a recall on an optics. And my optics had a recall. believe it or not, I got an email today.
Really?
It's on the way. So I've had to take my optics off.
What optic was that? They got a recall?
Trujicon.
Trujicon. Really?
It was yeah.
That's some of the
What
that's
was-
like top brand.
Yeah.
You know, Trujicon.
Well,
is
what
really
was the
good.
recall? What was it?
They were
Not lining
They were
up?
soldering a wire in the wrong spot, killing the battery.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
I put 3 batteries in it in a month. I'm like, I can't keep this. Is getting on my nerves.
No, they should at least easily last a year.
Yeah.
You know, 50,000 hours is what they say. So, you know, if you keep it on all the time, oh man, that feels good.
Just about all my guns have a little bit of a story.
Oh, please tell.
You know, I talk about
Man.
I talk about little guns.
Man,
I like
this
I
hell.
like little guns. You know,
Yeah.
there's no need to carry a little gun. But this is a pretty small gun there that I got into buying all of the judges, the Raging Judge.
Oh, my
the Taurus,
gosh, yes.
I've got all
Yes.
the judges.
It's the prosecutor. And
I got
the,
them all.
Yeah,
So
really?
I got into buying them. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you remember back when they had the Anacondas, the
Oh, yeah.
Pythons?
Right.
You know, I had a real trouble finding one of the 357s, and it was a Python or the Cobra. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I've got all of those, and man.
Man.
they are what they bring now is triple what I paid for them.
Really?
And see, a lot of
Oh,
people.
yeah, it is.
These guns are getting like cars.
Right. It is.
Seriously,
And it's just metal.
that gun
with
right there
polymer.
now is probably running about $15.99, and
really?
I don't have nowhere near that in it. But I bought it many years ago.
Now the judge I was talking about is a little bit smaller.
Whole
disc,
lot
and
smaller,
it shoots it's actually 410 and I believe 45 compatible.
Well, both of them are that way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same.
So
way.
both of them are.
Yeah, that one does the same thing.
I think the one I was looking at was the judge public defender.
Yep,
That's what it was.
That's what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I got that one. The only thing
Man, this sucker's huge.
the small judge won't shoot the 3-inch magnums.
Really?
That one will shoot the 3-inch.
Yeah, I would say it's probably would shoot just about anything. This sucker is massive, man. I didn't know they were that big. Good gravy.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. And I agree with her.
Right. That's like a 2024 Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
I know he did the 44s.
You know, Dr.
but
Boyce.
that's huge.
Right. Dr. Boyce used to take guns on trade.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if you got an animal that needed to be took care of, if you wanted to trade out some guns with him, he'll take it on trade. And one of those came in one time, and I was looking at it, I was holding it, I was envisioning me protecting everything in the world with it. And I told I'm going to buy this sucker. And he ran back to his office, got cash money, bought it, and I never seen it again.
A man in his gun.
I'm going to kind of say the same thing about his dad. He's a smart man.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So make sure he don't get his hands on that, boys.
Dr. Boyce had a great collection of guns. I believe they have all been distributed throughout the children, but just a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Major enthusiast.
Major enthusiast.
I used to love sitting there
And
watching.
I love talking to you about this. But yeah, that gun just reminded me of him right there. That was just.
I love it.
Now this
Oh,
right
he's
here,
got.
And I like that
Bring it
Hellcat.
out.
now this right here is my pride and joy. Story behind
Not
this.
you, Christian.
No, yeah, not him.
Oh, man. There we
Story,
go.
story behind this gun.
1911.
1911. That gun saved my life one night.
Really?
Back when I was a younger man, I got in a little altercation, little gang violence.
Really?
Yeah, and I got shot at 74 times in one night, and that kept me. That got me home right there.
Wow.
So we got it inlaid in gold and put the trigger, put the new. My brain just shut down. The
grips?
the grips, the new pearl grips on it, and machined it out, and that become my match shooting gun for a while.
Man,
Unfortunately, though,
she's pretty, though.
she's
Those
pretty.
1911 just fit good.
Yeah,
yeah.
they do.
Unfortunately, though, the
I love the
19
triggers on
yeah, the
them.
1911. Unfortunately, you know, if you shot one, you shot them all, and I've done everything I know to do to that gun to make it as accurate as possible. But you know,
I like the weight on it, too.
yeah, and that kind of takes me to my next little joy here.
Wow, those grips are awesome.
This is the first Glock that I purchased, which is a 17. That we done some work to that, and that's what I replaced my 1911 with. You know, shooting professionally.
So that's 45, right?
It
there.
is 45. that gun out of the box would outshoot this gun. I hate to say that. I'm a Colt guy.
Really?
It would. First match I shot with that gun, I shot the best I ever shot.
Is that a 19X? Or what did you say that was?
19X,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's 19X.
So I got that gun there, and I started, getting better with shooting competitions at Safe Side and traveling, doing a little bit of professional shooting, basically getting my butt handed to me because these guys were really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they really
Thousands
are.
of rounds they shoot.
And this is where my average was. Basically, if it was 100
lot
people,
lighter.
if there was 100 people
Polymer.
shooting, I would shoot 50. If there was 25 people shooting, I'd shoot 17. I just couldn't get past that half hump, and I don't know why. I just never could get through it. But long story short, I went to that gun, started shooting super good. Shot, I don't know, about 2 years with that gun, and it's got another trigger. It's been worked on pretty heavy. But then,
Oh, yeah, I see that.
and like I said, Glocks, everything on the triggers, every Glock is perfect trigger. They're identical.
Right.
They are.
So once your they call it memory. Once you get your trigger memory on a Glock, it don't matter which one you're shooting.
Right, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
They are.
That's the good thing about a Glock. Of course, they say you could run over it with a tank, but I ain't never tried that.
Well, they test them. I mean, people really put them through some torture
Can you
tests.
buy me a tank? We'll try it, Chad.
I get you.
I'll sacrifice one
right
gun
on
for the tank. I don't know if they flashing me. They throwing fingers at me over here.
Is that it?
And they
Oh, we
throwing
got the two
fingers
already?
Too many warning, yeah.
at me.
yeah,
Oh boy,
yeah.
too many
This is
warning.
my Glock right here. This is actually my home defense gun. This is
Nice.
the thing I trust.
Oh, absolutely.
Out of all of them, this is not my favorite gun, but it's the one I do trust my life with, which is also a 19. Oh, yeah. I put the night sights on there. I thoroughly enjoy that sucker. It's got a little cheap light on it.
That's all you
but
need.
Yeah, it's got the original trigger. I'm used to that Glock trigger. I mean, it just, it breaks. The reset, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right
Now,
there.
hey, check.
It's a wall.
But check this one out.
I know. I did. I felt
He
that.
did. He was over there going, "Oh yeah."
There's a little difference there.
Yeah,
A little
it's
difference.
Major difference.
You see the difference in them?
Yeah.
But
That's
every
about a 6 pound pull. This right here, 4 easy.
it's 3.5.
It's 3.5?
3.5.
Yeah, and the reset's perfect.
Yeah,
I love
But
it.
that's just a different. Again, that was just a different trigger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
Yeah,
in the
different.
light.
We put
Right.
I put another trigger in it, polished it real good, and
Is that a Timney trigger or is Alpha or what? Do you remember which one it is? What kind of trigger you put in there? I thought
That's
about
a
that
good
also,
question.
but I
I
wanted
can't
to,
remember.
I wanted to keep it OEM.
I like
you know,
the
it's just
I like
man,
the
this
heavy
is-
triggers.
I do too.
well, it's safer.
It's all
That's my heavy trigger.
yeah.
That's my heavy trigger.
There you go.
That looks like we might not all pull the
It's
trigger
loaded.
on it.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
YouTube,
look
it's
at-
unloaded.
Look at there. That's yeah.
That's my heavy
Hammerless.
Is
trigger.
that 32 or 38?
Hammerless.
That's a 44
That's
Bulldog.
a 44.
Get out of it.
Bulldog.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't look at it too close.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
That stays on me.
I don't
Right.
blame you.
Yes.
well, like I said, I carry this one here.
Yeah, I love
It's
those
small and
43s.
light. Got a
Yeah.
got a good light on it.
Oh, that's the Hellcat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, it's the first time I've ever held one of those. I've heard a lot about them, but, it's very comparable to the 43X.
It is. It is.
I mean, but you get, this is 10 rounds. This is, what'd you say, 13?
13 and 1.
Ain't that something?
Big
Ain't that
difference.
crazy?
Big
Yeah,
difference.
Major big difference.
Yep.
So we got some more.
Yeah, let's go to a break.
Go to a break.
Break time.
We'll be right back
We'll
after
talk
this.
about the bagworm when we come back.
Oh, look at the bag.
Bag worm. We got some more firearms I'm getting ready to pull out, and we'll just see what Mr. Chad's got more to say. Yeah, and thoroughly enjoy you, brother. Appreciate you being out here with us.
Good show.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. Hall.
we'll be back. If you get a chance, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And we're back. Thank you for joining us. We're here with Mr. Chad Hall, owner and operator of BTW 21, preacher, gun enthusiast, project enthusiast, car enthusiast, truck enthusiast. He's just got all kinds of stuff going
I
on.
like it. Preacher.
Preacher
Preacher man.
Preacher man. We greatly appreciate you, though. I've watched some of your stuff on BTW 21.
Right.
There you go.
Is that Martinsville Daily? Is that what it's called? What's it, Martinsville?
It's New Day.
New Day Martinsville.
New Day Church Martinsville.
New Day
Yeah,
Church
you was getting
Martinsville.
close.
Yeah, I was Sorry.
See, I need
there.
to get you. See, if I could get you guys to come with your family, you bring your kids, my church could double if you'd show up.
Then half of everybody in Badger County's gone if he brings his kids.
You know, that's a good one. I heard a joke. I'll tell you a good joke. And these guys were stranded on an island, and they was all panicking. And one guy said, "I ain't worried about it. I make $100,000 a month." I said, "Man, your money ain't gonna save you right now, buddy. We're gonna die on this island."
Right.
A couple of days went by, and they just panicking. He just sit back in the sun like it's a vacation. He said, "I told y'all, I'll get $100,000 a month."
Wow.
He said, "Well, what good is it going to do you?" He said, "Sunday was the first, and I wasn't at church." My pastor going to find me Monday morning.
Wow.
No, like Daniel, I as well I have seen some of your speakings there at church there, and they're good, man.
They
I
are
appreciate
good.
that.
They're really good.
And they're from the heart.
Yeah.
If you listen to you,
And you're real. That's,
And
you know,
you're
be
real
real.
about it.
Be real.
Be real.
Right.
Well, I mean, really, guys, I mean, for me, I'm 53 years old. You might as well be real. I'm not religious. I believe in Jesus. I love the Lord with all my heart and Savior.
Amen.
And I've devoted my life to what I do. And I get criticized a little for it because, I mean, you guys know me. I mean, I cut up and carry on. I know there's a line. But I can still have fun. Y'all still respect me. I respect you.
Right.
And, you know, even all my buddies, I got buddies now. They're drug addicts, man. They hanging out. But you know what? They don't say, "Oh, God, here comes a preacher. Oh, my God."
Right.
No, they hug me. "What's up, Chad? How you been?
Right.
Man, how you been? You still, what's wrong with you? You toe up again? Come on, man." You know what I'm saying? You know,
we have those too.
Yeah.
and I think that's where we've missed it a lot with religion. The bottom line is, if you read the Bible, I'm about to look at the camera, but I'm going to look at you guys.
It's your
Y'all
camera.
get me into preaching here. But no, seriously, the bottom line is if you don't love people, all you are is a mess. And when I see people in a bind, I see people hurting, I see people at church, I think, man, I've been there.
Right.
I've made those mistakes. And you know, it's easy to say, "Oh, you made a hard bed, Chad. Lay your butt down in it."
Yeah.
That's religion. You know,
Yeah.
that ain't what the word says. The word says, "Help Chad out."
Right.
No matter how many times he does it.
And I will.
He'll be calling me, "Hey, Chad, you remember what you said on the show, don't you?"
You said I'm good, right? You said,
I'm in the same boat. I know what you're saying.
But that's more. I'm learning more and more and more about the gifts of the Spirit and the things that God has done for me. Really, none of that matters. It's about loving people.
Amen.
And all of us are different. And,
Right.
you know, some people will come to church, they'll lift their hands. Some people will sit there and won't. You don't even know if they're alive or not. But they're still there, and
Yeah.
they got their own expression.
Right.
And if we just don't love people for where they are, they ain't gonna never get any better.
Right. We just actually talked about that out in the parking
did.
lot. We were just, you know, we're all on this third rock from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all in his thing together. All of us.
true. That's
Every
true.
color, every sex, every
Yeah, that's
gen-
right.
whatever you want to call it. You know, it's about the people. And you know, if you listen to the media, you listen to your social media and all this other crap, you can get a really distaste for people.
Yeah.
Even, you know, and what it struck me when I started reading, you know, the Bible and got into Matthew, and God was talking about, you know, when you let that sink into your head, you can get that bitterness in you.
Yeah.
You can start
It's easy.
not liking people.
Well, yeah, we were born into sin.
Right.
It's easy to be bad.
Right.
It's
right.
We ain't got to try real hard.
No.
Let's just be honest.
No. Right. We just wake up and sinning already.
But you know, that's true sometimes. That's true. But you know, another thing that you know that's really tough. I've been a pastor now for 25 years, and to see, you know, our congregation. You know, you take a congregation of 75, 125, 130, whatever. You know, you see these larger ministries with thousands and thousands of people, and you guys have seen it. Some of those guys have took a tremendous fall.
Oh, yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
hide sin forever.
No, you can't.
And you know, for me, I know my position.
Brought to the light.
I know where I'm at in the Lord, and I know that even the Bible says I will carry a different judgment because I'm a preacher.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
I take that seriously.
yes.
But it doesn't
Amen.
mean I'm any better than anybody else. I'm
Right.
just a normal dude that needs help every day.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I get criticized a little bit for that. But it's all I don't really care.
Well, people look for excuses,
right.
you know.
Well, Daniel is, you know, we got our riding buddies. We ride
Sure.
bikes. He's our preacher.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we look at him. That's how we view him. And there was one night I was sitting there thinking that maybe he's not getting out of what we're getting out of because he's put somewhere else because he is who we view as
right.
the preacher man.
Yeah.
And then I realized that no, we're all in this together.
Right.
Absolutely.
We're in this together, and I appreciate what you both do. Spreading the word is honorable, and
It is.
I don't have that. I don't have the.
No, you do.
I just don't have the vocab. I do it in
You're the most thankful person that I know.
that I am
Very generous.
I'm not
He's a
gonna
very
say-
generous man. I'll tell you that.
I do.
Very
I do like to
generous.
be grateful, and that's all I like to be. I like to be grateful for what is given to me, and even what's taken from me. Really,
Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes what's taken from me was necessary.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you go through tests and trials, and part of that is how you're going to overcome it. Can you forgive that person? I found this out, and I'm guilty. We'll forget, but we won't. Wait a minute, we'll forgive, but we won't forget. So basically, I remember Daniel. He owed me $40.
Right.
But that was 2 years ago, 20 years ago. Let it go. I'm just saying some things ain't worth pondering on.
Right.
And I see so many in generation to generation, they are stuck on, by God, I'm going to get you back one way or
Right.
the other. And it's no forgiveness. There's no love. It's all about me.
And it hardens your heart.
Big time. Yeah.
And the people around you.
Yeah.
Because people really trust
And then you got to break one of these out and say, get set free.
Set free one way or the other.
You're meeting Jesus. You're going to meet Jesus.
Well, let's.
I can get you to Jesus real quick.
Now, before the show, and we could sit here and talk about religion for a while. I mean, forever. But we got some more toys. We got some more.
What Daniel was talking about. Y'all heard that?
Yeah,
I heard a click.
Okay, I'm
like,
leaving.
like,
Daniel was talking about home defense.
and
So that's my home defense. It's just something I put under the pillow.
What do you call this sucker?
the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's
That is, yes, it is pretty.
Oh, the Christmas.
It will light you up.
right.
That's a Kel-Tec.
Okay.
It's a double tube. Of course, I don't like pointing the gun.
Now is that? Yeah, I
You
see
can
that.
point
I
at
do
me.
this.
Come
You
on
can see
in.
the two barrels on the end.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And basically, you can put 14 rounds in it. It is a pump shotgun.
14 rounds.
14 rounds.
Wow.
Pump
Holy
shotgun.
mackerel.
And it's got it's kind of got the effect to it when you do it. If I can figure out where.
That's like something out of RoboCop or something. Back in the 90s, you'd see some kind of futuristic space age stuff.
when
It's like-
you come in the house
right.
and you hear that, that's a whole new
Yes.
background. And RoboCop ain't got nothing for this
No,
thing.
he don't.
He'll drop him like a hot tomato.
He had 8 rounds. That was
but
it.
feel that thing, guys. That thing is heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got.
I mean, that thing is heavy, man.
You got a whole.
Ain't
like
that
we-
right, Christian?
Get you a little
You just
workout
work
in it.
out with that sucker.
Right, like you said, like I said
that
outside,
is
looks like it's got a whole bandolier of bullets.
And of course,
Ammo.
I'm a whole lot like you, Daniel. I don't know how many of these we have.
Right.
We got a pretty big. Everybody ought to own at least 10 of these.
The elusive.
Oh
man, that does have some weight.
Right.
I mean, at least 10. So, again, these are awesome weapons for anything, really. I mean, this 223 and this used to, the 5.56, but this you can honestly with this gun, and you probably can yours too, Daniel. But you can literally drive nails with it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
again,
yeah.
everybody's always. Again, I'm an advocate for the Second Amendment, and I believe that I will take an oath to defend the Constitution.
Amen.
I never had the opportunity to serve my country, which I
Amen.
regret
Same.
that.
Yeah, me too.
But unfortunately, those years was kind of tough.
Right.
Trying to grow up, and but that's one regret because my grandpas, my daddy, all of them served the country,
Yes.
and that was one thing I really regret I didn't get to do. But I'm doing it another way.
Right.
I'm doing it a different
Well,
way.
I think that's all 3 of us at the table. Daniel has not served. I have not served. But I don't think there is 2 more people, or now 3, more people that are honored by what these men did do.
Absolutely.
And when men were men.
Oh, yeah.
When men-
and they identified as men.
And they identified as men. Here, I'm going to give you your sledgehammer back.
Right.
If you can't shoot him, just hit him with it.
Right.
Throw it at him.
Yeah. Here, hold this. Good gravy.
Oh, yeah. If you run out of bullets, just use it for a batting ray.
Right.
That's right.
Right. This just going back, I thought about it during the break. That AR-15 that I actually had, me and my son put this together.
Nice.
He was going into the Air Force, and that's one of the reasons actually I brought this sucker. It was in parts, many different pieces.
That's cool.
And I'm so thankful that they actually come together.
They're lined up.
Now, when you say, for the audience, when you say in pieces, what do you mean?
Oh my gosh! This lower's Anderson, and this, of course, this is the top upper half.
So you order this separately and put it together.
Yes. This actually, the lower part of it is considered the gun. This ain't considered a gun. None of this up to this point right here. This right here is considered the gun. Not this, not this, any of this. And so we got all this. We got this one. It was completely hollowed out. We put all these pieces together. They say you have to have this to put it in, the trigger guard, blah, 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 all these different things. But we thankful for YouTube. Mm-hmm. We looked it up. He put it together. I watched him, and then we went out and shot it. It took us about 2 hours to do it. It was our first project, kind of really together besides motorcycles. And so this was my first AR-15, and I really love this one because I know that me and him put this together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know,
Well, that goes back to the beginning of the show when we were talking about
right.
his father in the truck and my
Right.
mother. You know, it's passing it along.
And I was so grateful that it shot. We got out there and started. I was like, man, I hope this thing shoots. I hope we got all that because we didn't have any parts left. Thank God.
You know, a whole lot of people, when they build a gun like that, the first time they pull the trigger, they do set up a trigger mechanism so they're not holding it.
Yeah.
Because of the fear
Right.
of what if.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, like you were saying, there's only one section of that's even got to be licensed.
Yeah.
The rest of it, you can take it apart and change it around.
But now the rest of it is what people have a problem with.
Yeah.
True.
All of it together.
They don't have a problem with this because we could buy this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could buy this anywhere, anytime. But when we talk about the news and what people are afraid of, it's this, and it's this.
That's all that, and it's black.
Mm-hmm. Now they did change. You can't get a bump stock now. They did outlaw those.
Which I agree with that. I mean, you know,
I disagree.
I'm Second Amendment, but I mean, you know, I ain't got to sit there and
True.
and have something help me.
But I mean,
put
honestly,
out a different bunch of shots.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. But all you got to do is YouTube it, and it'd be a half of MacGyver, and you can make one
Right,
fully. I mean,
right.
You know, it's not that big a deal.
But that's the thing of it. I don't want nobody out there with no sense using it.
This is
if
true.
you got some sense and you can put one of these things together, I think you should be able to own one.
Yeah.
If you got sense.
Well, I think that's the gun law, the gun laws in general.
Right.
We do have some people that I'd rather not have guns.
Amen.
Yeah, oh, I agree with that
And
too.
we should
I agree
do
with that too.
about
But I mean,
that.
right now we got, and again, we can this show can go anywhere from here.
could really
you know, we
quick.
got people coming through the borders buying guns.
Amen.
You know, they
Yeah.
got a lot of things that I totally disagree with.
Amen. Yeah.
But you know,
But what law is going to stop them from buying guns? So we can make whatever law
Yeah.
that we want, but the ones that are breaking the law will continue
does it
to do.
matter?
What's it matter?
Well,
Yeah, you
I
just
mean,
get
you know,
anything
they're-
you want.
you know, we can do mail-in voting. Okay, well, why can't I do a mail-in buy a gun? Well, I can really get technical. I'm big for
Let's do that.
I'm big for the Second Amendment, and it's been
No, I'm with
attacked for years.
Right.
And you know, the voting situation in our country is bogus compared to how you and I have to buy a gun.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. How you and I have to buy a
Right.
gun. And the bottom
Legally.
line is anybody that's got money can buy a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I just think the some of it is a waste of paperwork, but I also know that the way the system is with voting in general, plus buying a
Yeah.
gun, there's a whole lot of red tape there that don't need to be there.
It is.
And you know, I'm not real big on the mail-in voting.
Yeah. I am definitely not.
So I mean, we could talk about that all day, but
Right.
let's talk about something
But
pretty. Speaking of,
I mean, it is, you know, you just can't go out there and buy one like, you know, you go to Walmart down here and buy a stereo system.
speaking of the government,
That's
take a good
pretty.
look at that.
Right.
I had to,
That's pretty.
you know, I'm not against the
founding
government. Don't get me
fathers.
wrong, I'm not against the government, but
Can we get
I'm
That
a
looks similar to mine.
I'm a full
Very
What camera are
similar.
you on? Can we-
I'm a full agreement that the government. I don't need them to hold my hand. I need them to give me a fair shake.
Look at that
Right.
beautiful thing.
You know
Look
what
at
I'm saying?
that.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty, ain't it?
So that's another 1911.
Oh, cool.
It's got some etched.
It feels
Oh,
good.
she's scratched.
Yeah.
She's etched up.
Oh, she's etched.
She's
up.
got some beautiful.
Yeah, I love this. Oh, wow. Huh.
But this is something we decided in 1719.
This is true.
1719, the Second Amendment.
And
That's when it came out.
it's worked.
I love these etched.
And my grandpa taught me years
Liberty.
ago, don't fix something that ain't broke.
Right.
Don't fix something that ain't broke.
Now, this was my first 1911. The reason I bought that, I put the different grips on there. But that is a replica of the first 1911, besides the skeleton hammer.
Oh, them grips are nice.
I know. I had to have the different grips. They had these plastic, which that's what they were issued in 1911 when that gun right there apparently won World War II. So they say that's the gun
That's a
of
nice
it.
trigger.
Yeah. It's a really nice gun, really nice trigger. It's something I don't think Chad's ever seen this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he
That's
wants
got
to-
some weight
he's
to
gonna
it.
want to hold that.
That's 45.
He might put that in his pocket. You
It's-
better watch it.
7+1. So the magazine holds
Yep,
7. but
that's
you
about
put one
right.
in there. Yeah. it's-
What's that, a rubber?
Yeah,
Rubber?
yeah, it's a rubber Hogue grip. I think it's how you call it. Hogue.
What'd you call Chad?
I don't know what a rubber is.
That's a fact.
What is this, rubber?
And I got his mini me.
Oh, yeah,
This is Snub Nose
nice.
357. It's not the 44, the big boy, but that was my first gun. Well, my first personal I bought gun. And bought that. Actually, I'll tell you the story of it just really quick. Moved to Martinsville.
And he had to buy a gun.
Get a gun. Well, I was 17 years old.
like that. That's
and,
nice.
And I worked with a buddy of mine, and he said, "Man, you got to have some home protection. You got to have protection." I'd never had a gun before, and he actually gave me that gun.
Really?
And then in 2003, look at that. It's mini me.
Really?
It ain't a lot of
Ain't
difference.
that? I know. Look.
There's a lot of difference coming
Except for the
out.
hole it leaves.
The hole and the hammer. One thing I love about the 357 Magnums is you can shoot 357 or 38.
Right. Yeah.
And so I do my training with 38, but them 357s, that's a blue flame. It just.
Oh, yeah.
But in 2003, the place that I used to live in 2003, my place was broke into,
Oh,
and
boy.
they stole the gun.
No way.
Yeah, they stole it. And this is not the original gun that I had. It was about 3 years later I found this actually at a pawn shop, and I was like, "That's the one that I had," but it's
Yeah.
not the same. But it's exactly the same, but it's not.
Right.
And so I had to have it again. So
I don't blame you.
I went and bought it. But I love this little 357. It's a wrist. You got to have
Oh,
a little bit on the wrist side, especially
you
if you got
shooting
them
a 357,
357s.
yeah.
Yeah, you got a little wrist action there. So, but as far as reliability, it beats all the Glocks. It beats all the 1911s, all the AR-15s. You can't beat a revolver for. Just the capacity is the problem.
Yeah.
You only got 6 shots, 5 or 6 shots out of them. Some of them 8 if it's a 22. But revolver, you pull the trigger, it's going to go pow. You don't have all these different mechanisms that could
This
something
is
go
true.
wrong.
This is true. I don't know how many guns I do have and how many I bought. I know in my lifetime I've only got rid of one gun, personally, and regret the heck out of it. It was an old Sears and Roebuck 22 lever action, one shot in the top.
Oh, really?
Yep, one shot
so
in the
barrel
top.
opened up at the top.
Yeah. Well, no, you just pull it and the little thing popped up and you slide it down
slid it
in there.
down
Yeah.
in there. Okay, yeah.
And my daddy bought me that gun, and I was just a kid, and I don't remember. Guy had a CB radio, and I said, "Look, hold the gun, and I'll pay you payday." Well, I got CB radio home. It didn't work, so I took it back, and then things never worked out. And at the time, I worked at Stanley Bowles Construction. I wasn't but 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to take a hammer to him, And that old fella never come back to work. Really? I ain't seen him since. Now, I know I was talking about forgiving a fella. Now, I did say I remember. But
All right, last but not least for me, this is what I call Miss America.
Oh, yeah.
That is a Glock 3 Generation 3 clone from Palmetto State Armory. And I've put probably about 3,000 rounds through that sucker. It's a Glock clone, and I absolutely love that sucker.
Trigger.
Yeah, it's got a different trigger on it. I mean, it's flat shooting.
It's a
it's
shooting gun.
Shooter.
Yeah.
It's a shooter.
That protects my dogs. This protects my home. Like I said, I'm
your
totally
dogs.
reliable on this. I've never had any kind of, malfunction or anything, and I've never had a malfunction on this right here. But I love my Glock, original Glock. But this right here, I go outside with my dogs at night. There's 3 of them. This is keeps the coyotes away and the other big, huge. I got little bitty dogs, as Chad knows. And it keeps the other pooches away and stuff like that. So that's one I rely on. But she was just kind of almost Gucci. I got it for the same price you could during 4th of July. So I went ahead and bought the Cerakoted red, white, and blue, blah, blah, blah. And I put the front sight, fiber optic red sight on there just for shoots and giggles. But, man, that thing shoots straight as fire. And unfortunately, I've had to shoot at a few dogs, not trying to kill them. Just trying to scare them away.
Yeah.
So I shoot at the ground. I'm not one of those that shoot in the air because you don't know where the bullets
No.
come. But I can put one right behind their butt as they take off, and usually just one they'll do it. So sometimes
You need to get you one of these judges with one of them. No, seriously, with one of them, with the rat shot in it.
right.
Yeah, man.
Right. That'll
Yes,
get
sir.
gone with the wind.
It'll be
then.
gone. It won't come back. They might have a
I've
little.
never seen them after, and unfortunately, I've been there. We've been there 10 years now, and I've had to do that maybe twice. So I'm not looking to shoot no dog or
Well, coyotes
shoot
is
at
a different
dog.
problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
coyotes.
now I shoot a coyote.
Right, I will shoot a coyote.
Well, I shoot a dog that's
That's-
trying to bite me.
That right there. I'm going outside with 30 rounds if there's a coyote. I'm not messing. They ain't messing with my dogs. So anyway, all right. We have bugs and we have a flyer we need to talk about. I know we're probably getting ready to run out of
Oh,
time
we got
here.
bugs.
Yeah.
I just found this little sucker outside the station.
Now, I seen those when I was little, but I didn't know what the name of them were.
It's a bagworm,
Bag worm.
and you will
You might have
find
to
that-
hold that up to the camera, too. That's
Can we see that?
that's so small.
Which camera are we on? We're on this one.
Put
And
it,
you
It's
will
actually that one.
put
Go
it
that
on
way.
Yeah, put it on
Go
that.
that way. Yeah. Go.
If you'll switch it to, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Oh, yeah, that's a whole lot better.
little thing.
Now we can
That
see
looks like
it.
I got a booger.
That's a nasty booger, Chad.
Man, don't be trying to make me look like I got a booger on TV.
But anyways,
Chad sneezed during the break. and
there's a little worm in there.
A worm.
Huh.
But before he cocoons up like that, he looks like a little stick walking across.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's camouflaged like
He's
a stick.
camouflaged like stick, but you'll find if you see these things, they're not good for your pine trees, so get them out of there. I don't know why I brought it on, but
I like it.
right.
But I mean,
there's a worm
So
in
they
there.
build that? How do they build that? Out of just they chew on what's around them and make that,
I
or
don't know how they build that, but I tell
They're
you,
carpenters, Daniel.
right.
well,
But
God's
that's pretty
amazing,
wild.
as you know. I mean, the design that
We could
God's
probably open them up and eat them.
Uh-oh.
and you
we're
would.
not. We're not eating bugs today.
Thank you.
Just today? Well, not today.
He's
I'm a bug eating. I'll eat it. Fuck it.
what does it taste like?
Dirt.
Is it juicy on the inside?
No, juicy. Look,
There's a little juice.
hey, did it have a
little
little
juice.
pop?
I'm probably gonna,
He's
Jail-
probably going to be into John.
jail,
Right.
jail-filled gummy.
Look at him. He's still chewing.
it's chewy.
I
That's a
would too.
chewy-
It's chewable.
Like a chunk of tobacco.
You just spit.
Somebody's laughing. Or
You got the producers laughing. You even got the producers laughing, man.
Come on, you gotta stop.
Oh,
eating
it's
bugs.
Louise. Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, we got a benefit ride. It's not for a couple months, but we do need to talk about it.
Yes, we do.
We
It's
got
coming up in
flags?
May.
There it is.
Coming up in May.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a cookout after the ride.
I like it.
Meals available to purchase to take home with you. We're going to have a 50-50 drawing. We're going to have live music, open mic, family friendly, no alcohol on the event.
Right.
Now, this is the Eagles Club where we usually will partake in a drink or two, but they have decided that since this young lady was hit by a drunk driver,
Sure.
that there will be no drinking on during the ride, but it's going to happen rain or shine. We've got, there's going to be a bunch of people.
Right.
We got the town of Stewart involved. We have several businesses in Patrick County involved. We're going to have almost a parade up through Stewart and then go on our ride. But I wish everyone would come out, maybe
Is this in
donate for it.
March?
May.
This is in
May.
May.
Okay,
May
good.
This is in
11th.
May.
We got
Now,
a couple months.
She'll warm up a little
We
bit.
got
yeah.
a couple months.
We got a couple
we
months.
wanted a good ride.
Yeah, just wanted to throw it out
Now,
there.
did you say this gal got killed by a drunk
No,
driver?
she didn't
no,
get
no,
killed.
no, no.
She
No,
didn't get killed.
no, good. That's even
Yeah,
better.
thank God.
I will
She
say
survived.
that one of my
Praise the Lord.
one of my best friends, Tremaine Hilton, was on the scene. Mm-hmm.
Very
when it first
bad.
happened, extremely bad.
Extremely bad. She just got out of the hospital. 60 days.
Wow.
He messaged me. No, go ahead. He messaged me and said, this one ain't gonna make it,
Yeah, it was.
and it was just terrible.
Everybody can.
And
go
she
back
looks
and
like
look.
she's a young girl.
She is, yeah. One of the Worleys, Chris Worley, that runs Worley Machines over
Sure,
there in
yeah,
Woolwine.
Woolwine.
Everybody
Woolwine
knows her. I
area,
went to
yep.
school with the mama, Mandy, and it was Mandy Trent. Now it's Mandy Worley. She's Lauren Worley. Everybody in Patrick County is behind her. They got a lot of benefits going on for the family. This is one that we're behind. We're behind all of them, but this one right here, we've had Alan Ham on here. He, of course, has the hospice ride and several other things for his late stepdad. Father-in-law. For his late father-in-law. He has a ride every fall, and he just felt in his heart that he needed to do this.
He hit me up in the middle of the night.
Awesome.
Middle of the night, he's like, "Hey, Chad,
Yes.
we got to do a ride."
Yes.
He goes, I'm gonna put this thing together, and I was uncertain on what he was actually talking about at the time because it was middle of the night. But then that next morning,
Hey, you hadn't been eating bugs, have you?
I'm a bug eater. Bro. What the hell? 2 minutes.
Thank you, brother.
Luis gave us the 2 minutes.
Yeah, I got the
He gave
finger
us
from the
the-
El Salvadorian.
We got everybody in here.
Right.
But if you would, I mean, this ride does mean a lot to me. And
A lot.
I think it came from having a daughter this last 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I've always been with child. I graduated high school with 2 kids.
Wow.
So you kind of always been with child at that point. But they've all been boys.
Yeah.
And then I had my first daughter 6 years ago. And the way I view things are a little bit different now. And when I heard this story and I've seen some of the
Miraculous recovery.
miraculous recovery. I mean, this girl went through a lot.
A lot, along with the parents, and they wanted to be there 24/7, and they were.
Yeah.
She was in Roanoke, and I think they went on to Brenner's Children's Hospital, and just recently got out of there.
Right.
We had a big parade. Well, Patrick County had a big parade coming back.
That's awesome.
Oh, you guys had it on the air, actually. You guys were up
Louise.
there.
Yeah, I
Louise
had
was
that
up
on
there.
there. Had it on BTW 21 from Patrick County High School, and all the way up through Main Street and everything. I mean, just
But
everybody.
I really couldn't imagine.
I
mean,
couldn't imagine
pulling
either,
up
man.
on a
I don't
scene.
want to
rough.
imagine. I don't want to imagine.
Not me either.
And the story goes, I mean, I don't know how much of it, you hear talk around town, is that they have the app, the Life 360. Mm-hmm. So the parents were expecting them to be at a certain point,
Yeah.
and then it didn't happen, and so they were on the scene.
Yeah.
Usually you don't get that call until everything's kind of cleaned up.
Right.
But I could not imagine being a father pulling up on that scene.
be rough.
The wreck. So I'd really like to promote this if we could, Mr. Hall, promote it throughout
absolutely.
the months to come. It's May 11th, so we do have some time.
Yeah,
to,
we'll get it out
to
there,
put it
man.
out there.
Thank you,
We'll get
brother.
it out there.
I do
Appreciate
appreciate
you,
that.
man.
And I appreciate everything. I think Daniel and I have had an extreme blast at the expense of yourself and BTW 21.
Yes.
And
Thankful
and
for
hopefully
Yeah.
you'll keep us on for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Number one news station in Southside
Absolutely.
Virginia. I love it.
We just got to work on getting us in Patrick County, boys.
I know.
We're getting there.
gotta do
We're-
that.
I got
we're
faith in you. I need
We
to
can-
get up there a
I'll go
little more.
before- I'll go before
we
the board.
we
I'll
have
do
to
it.
make it. We had to make us a little name here first to be able to bring. I mean, we got a
Right.
name up there, but to say that we have something established down here.
Right.
And I'm pretty
So
happy.
something's still
Our
going.
customer base is picking up in Patrick
Awesome.
County. It really is, and that's a good thing.
Awesome.
Man, I tell you, I enjoyed that parade.
Yeah.
I think it was great.
That was one of the best things.
Had Louise show up at the parade.
Yeah,
But
man. Doing
just
it with
little
Louise,
things like
that's great.
that. That's how you open the door to Patrick County.
That's how you do
Absolutely.
it.
You can't just bombard them. They're set in their
No.
ways.
Oh, yeah.
So you just got to keep on milking them and then be
See,
accepted.
I was up there 11 years at the international papers. I know exactly
You
what
know
you
what
said.
it's like up there. You know what it's like. But anyhow,
Slow
Mr.
it easy.
Hall,
Thank you,
sir.
Chad. Good to see you, buddy.
Great
Always
talking
good to
with
be on the show, man.
Yes, sir. Great talking with you about from father son stuff to cars to all the way to the. We got a whole arsenal right here, man.
Well-
we can just go off right now.
Well, you say we just go blow some stuff up.
Right.
Go blow
We need to
some
get
stuff
together
up.
and do that. We're gonna do
All
it.
right.
We're gonna do it.
You all be real and come on.